junkies out there, I invite you to spend some time with me. I'm Johnny Allen, and this is the Johnny Allen Podcast Show. All right, and the show does start now. I am your host, Johnny Allen. This is the Johnny Allen Podcast / Videocast Show. Welcome to January the 9th, Thursday, 2020. It is still hard for me to believe that it's actually 2020. It's just, it blows my mind, people. It just blows my mind. Hard to believe 2020. Hey, if you're a first-time subscriber, first-time listener, welcome to the little podcast I do every Thursday. I talk about everyday life situations for about 30 minutes. I kind of analyze my day. I talk about your day. You guys chime in. We have a little discussion, and we drink coffee. Without further ado, get your coffee cups out. Here's mine. This today is the Kroger, back to the Kroger brand. Actually, breakfast blend. I love breakfast blend. It's good stuff. Not bad. Let's take a swig, people. Actually, before we drink, let's take a swig to another day of living on the planet, right? The way the wacky world is today and the way things have been the last couple of days, I tell you what, we're lucky to celebrate another day. So, hey, let's have a swig. A toast to being alive and being well, wherever you are, and hopefully you're doing well and everything is fine in your life. If not, hopefully it will get better for you. So today I'm going to kind of boil it down. Again, thank you for listening tonight. I appreciate it. It's on a little bit of a break. If you watched my little Saturday broadcast, I talked about where I was and what I was doing with the family over the holidays. Hope your holidays went well. Mine went pretty well. Besides having a little stomach bug and a little adjustments in the household with accommodating the family, everything went really well. So hopefully yours did as well. But anyway, today I have 6 subjects. Actually, I just thought about in the last day and a half, and even up to the last hour before the broadcast today. I have 6 subjects I want to go over today with everybody and share with you guys out there in the internet world, on Facebook or on YouTube or wherever you may be listening to this broadcast. And the first thing I like to talk about really is character flaws. Sometimes we have character flaws, right? People have character flaws. What do you think about character flaws? If you become friends with somebody or you're close with a person or you know someone, perhaps family, friends, whatever the case may be, and, we all seem to have character flaws once in a while, right? Do you judge people or do you like somebody because they have a character flaw? Do you still look up to them and like what they're doing? And how do you feel about a character flaw? Do you overlook a character flaw? Really is what I'm trying to say here. Do you overlook character flaws? Just look at the person inside, the person deeply inside, and like the person for who they are, what they stand for, how they live their lives, and all that kind of thing. Character flaws. It's interesting. Like I said, we all have character flaws. I've had character flaws sometimes. We're not perfect people. We don't do perfect things all the time. We have flaws, and we have character flaws. Should you put somebody, someone has a character flaw, does that determine how you think about that person? If you discover a character flaw, comment below. Let me know what you think about character flaws. Any thoughts whatsoever about a character flaw? Good, bad, indifferent? Do you still like the person when you find out about their character flaws? I'd like to know. Second thing I like to talk to, these topics kind of all relate to each other. This one is, should we judge a book by its cover? This one's an interesting one. Should you judge a book by its cover? Now, I'm not talking about an actual book, although you could look at a book and judge it by the cover, whether you want to buy it or not, looking at the cover, if you want to read it or not, looking at the cover. But in this particular topic, in this instance, I'm talking about human beings. Should you judge a person by the way they look or the way they present themselves? Should you judge somebody by the first time just by looking at them, meeting them, or whatever? And I'll use a couple examples of this. I actually had a nice conversation with a couple coworkers yesterday about this very thing. One female, one African-American female, probably in her 50s, and another one was a Caucasian white male in his 60s. So I had a interesting conversation with these two folks. A little bit different backgrounds, right? But here I'll share a little bit of the conversation we had, and I want you guys to comment below what you feel about this. Now, the female, and of course I don't name names. I don't do this on the podcast. I keep the identities in private, which I think they should be private. I don't want to, Anyway, I'll just say, for the sake of name, I'll call her Jane. That's not a real name, but I'll call her Jane. Jane is the African-American woman in her 50s. She had shared with me that she used to work for a high-end department store, okay? And she actually worked in security at the high-end department store. And they judge, guess what? Security at this high-end department store, they do judge the book or the person by the cover or the appearance of the person. She says if a person walks in there, and it didn't matter what race, which was interesting, she said that if the person looked really sloppy looking, dressed-wise, undercover security was right there on them, watching them the whole way through the store. Make sure they didn't steal anything. If you looked like you were a poor person and you walked into a high-end store, they immediately were there, okay? So that's kind of judging the book by the cover. You say, I'm security, I'm looking through the security cameras, and I'm like, whoa, this guy looks like he just got out of bed. He's got sloppy clothes on. He's kind of trashy. Think he's up to something. Let's go watch him. Let's go watch him. And some people think, well, that's a natural thing, John. Poor people steal. Or do they? Or do they? According to her, it was most of the well-dressed kids that had money, young people that had money, was the ones that stole and shoplifted the most from the department store, the high-end department store. Now you would think, why is that? They got money. They don't need to steal things. They can just buy it. Or their mommy and daddy give them the money. Or whatever the case may be. They have the money to be able to buy what they need. But she said, and she worked for the security company, and I believe her, she said that most of the people that they caught were from well-to-do families, not the poor people. Interesting, isn't it? Comment below if you have any comment whatsoever on that. So should we really judge a book by its cover? I've been guilty of it, quite a bit, especially when I was younger. I would look at somebody and think, there's no way I'm going to socialize with this person. I don't like the way they look, And I found out throughout the years, I don't do that so much anymore. I pretty much give everybody a fair shot, no matter what they look like. I'll talk to somebody who's rich. I've been friends with people that are rich. I've been friends with people that are very poor. To me, personally, how much money you make or how you sit in this man-made status positions that we've created, that mankind has created, where you sit in the social levels, like I said, it's a man-made thing. Not to be sounding too religious or whatever, but under God or whatever, we're all equal, right? If you believe in God. That's a whole different thing. But anyway, getting back to this, I don't judge anybody on how much money they make, what they do for a living, or anything like that. You know what? I judge the people. I'm going to move this mic down just a little bit, guys. I judge people by how they are, how they act, where their mind is, where their soul is, where their heart is. That's where I judge people. If someone has a good heart, a good soul, a friendly person, an honest person, not someone that's going to steal from you. You know what? I am going to, or do bad things to you or somebody else. I'm going to socialize rather, and be more attracted to having a relationship with that person than I am someone else. I don't, I've ran into people that are rich and they're very rude. Some of my friends are acquaintances, really, that have a lot of money and some of the rudest people that ever existed. Now, on the flip side of that, I've met people that have money and they are not rude. And the same thing with the poor people. I'm friends with some poor people that can be kind of rude and ignorant and just plain, just not even really just, their social graces are not the best, put it that way. And they stole from me and stuff like that. Now, I've met people that don't have any money, just the opposite. Good people and stuff. So, you can't really judge the book by the cover so much, and you can't really judge a person how they act by the social, where they are in this social ladder that human beings have created, right? So it's basically the person. It comes right down to it. The person you are, who you are. it makes up your character. And if you have character flaws, depending on what they are, doesn't really matter if you like that person or not, have a relationship with that person. So really, at the end of the day, it's not how much money you make. It's not what you do for a living. It's not that you're a rock star, big celebrity, big person, have a big image, whatever. It really doesn't matter. It matters who you are in here. It really does. It matters who you are inside. And, this conversation I had with the African-American woman and the Caucasian man, and I told him after we got done talking, and I let her talk for quite a bit, she talked about the department store and whatnot. And at the end of the conversation, I said, you know what? I just basically said this. At the end of the day, we're all going to die. We're going to pass away. There's nothing you're going to do about it. No matter how much money you have, you're not going to be able to sustain your life forever. Everybody's going to pass away. And what kind of legacy do you want to pass on in this world? And if you believe in the afterlife, where you go after you leave this one, we're all even keel there. Everybody's even. Everybody's going to die. So you know what? The slate is cleaned when you pass away. God's not going to care, or wherever you go, whatever you believe, and personally I believe in God, he's not going to care how much money you made. He's not going to care how much money you acquired, how many things you acquired in this world, or whatever. He's going to look at what kind of person you were and what kind of integrity you had and what kind of good things you did for your fellow mankind and for yourself in a healthy way. And that's just the way I look at it. So anyway, character flaws. You're going to judge people for character flaws. Are character flaws a big deal? Comment below. Let me know what you think. Should we judge people? Should we judge the book by the cover? Should we judge people by what they look like or what they appear to be or what their social status is or how much money they make and blah, 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 etc., etc.? Are you going to be drawn towards the person that makes a lot of money and looks glamorous and, sophisticated or whatever the case may be? It's up here on the social level, right? Or are you going to judge the person and not talk to the person that's down here on the social level? Are you just going to stereotype immediately? Or are you going to be somewhere in the middle like I am and judge the person for who they really are? Comment below. Let me know. As I've gotten older, I've really gotten that way. My wife mentioned today, she goes, yeah, I just don't know what I would do if we had a lot of money. I don't know, if I'd be happier or not happier or whatever we had a lot of money. And I just told her this, because we don't have a lot of money. We're not poor, but we're not rich. What I told her was this. I said, well, really, are you happy now? She said, yeah. I said, then if you had money, you would still be happy. If you had less money, you'd still be happy. Because the point is you're happy now. You're happy with who you are. You're happy with who you are. Money does not, which I'm going to go there, money doesn't always bring you happiness. I mean, a lot of people think, well, sure, it might be a little bit easier if I had a lot of money. I might not have to do the kind of work that I do now, or do less of it, or things of that nature. But really, does money really bring you happiness? It might bring you a temporary happiness. In other words, like you buy something and it's really cool for a while, but after a while you just get kind of tired of it. You get tired of things. And if you're that kind of person, no matter what you buy or what you do, you're never going to be happy. Now, if you buy something and you're really happy with that one thing that you bought and you're just happy with everything, you're happy with your life. Doesn't matter what you have. You're just happy with who you are. With me, I'm happy to get up in the morning and feel pretty damn good, to be honest. If something's not aching or something, that's good. That's a great day. A great day. Like I said, money can't buy you happiness either. And like I said, we're going to go there. It's one of the last things on there. Okay, I want to talk about number 3. So we talked about character flaws, number 1. We talked about number 2, judging should you judge a book by its cover? Number 2, should you look at somebody a certain way and judge them? Okay, which leads up to number 3, which is judgment. Okay. Should we be the judges of people? A lot of people are judging our president today. I'll just use that example. I'm not a political show, but, Trump's in the news every day. Every day, President Trump is in the news. Some people love him. Some people hate him. Some people, I think, are in between, but I think that percentage of in-betweens is really low. But he is judged by a lot of people every day, judged. Now, I'm just using him as an example because he's the biggest example I can think of right now. But should we judge people? What kind of right do I have to judge someone else? Should we judge people? Because, people do have the character flaws and people have made mistakes in their life. And if they decided that, that mistake was something bad, I learned from it, I moved on, I'm a different person, blah, 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 that's great, right? It's great. You know, I've been friends with people I'm friends with people that have been in prison. I'm friends with people that not have been in prison. And it just depends on like I said, this whole thing today, I'm talking about, guys, it depends on who the person is. You got to really look down deep inside who that person really is. If that person's really bad and continues to be bad, of course I'm not going to socialize with that person. I don't want anything to do really with that particular person. Except maybe pray for them and guide them and say, hey, try to change your life, right? Try to change your life a little bit. But, should we really judge? Are we called the judge of the people? In other words, should we judge our president? Should we judge him? We can have opinions. We can have opinions. But should you really judge a person? Some people may judge the type of music I like to listen to. Some people may judge my little podcast I have going on here. Should you judge that? Or should you just have an opinion? I really think we could have an opinion, but I don't think we should really judge. Automatically I'm going to damn this person for what they had done. Or automatically I'm going to give this person a pass for something that they've done that maybe they shouldn't have a pass. But do I have the authority to really do that? Comment below. Let me know what you think about that judgment. Should you judge people? And if that kind of thing. Which leads to number 4. Number 4 I have listed down here. I have a notepad right here in case you wonder what I was doing. Okay, number 4, I got false impressions. A lot of times people have false impressions. Or they give out false impressions of what they really are, what they perceive to be, and are they really that person? Comment below. It's a question. I have a really good knack as I gotten older at being able to pick up on false impressions of people. Really figuring out who people are and really sitting back, and I'm not judging. I used to judge, but I don't judge. I just sit back and I draw an opinion. I draw an opinion. I will meet somebody and think, okay, not going by the book at the cover kind of thing, judging a book by its cover, but once I get to know the person for the first, say, half hour, whatever, a couple days, maybe a week, maybe a month, but anyway, a certain amount of time, I will begin to figure out whether they're giving out a fake impression of who they are or if they're sincere with who they are. Okay, so fake impressions, a lot of people use them to try to get things in the world. It boils down to man is really greedy in a lot of ways. And it's money. Money is the root of all evil, and that is true. It is. Pink Floyd Pink Floyd has a famous song called Money. And if you just listen to the lyrics of that Pink Floyd song, it explains it all. We're so driven by what we can buy. And you're looked at as a person at what you achieved, who you are, and this is just a general population, a human thought process, which I don't understand. A lot of times you are judged, which I don't think you should be judged, but you are judged, and you are basically your character is judged, and your person is judged, and sometimes your soul is judged on how much financial wealth you have acquired in your life. Oh, he drives a brand new Mercedes-Benz. He drives a Tesla. He drives a whatever, a really expensive automobile, Bentley, whatever it is. He's got a great big, huge, $6 million, home, several of them, whatever. You guys catch my drift. You're judged on, or you're looked upon on how much you've acquired financially in the world. And people do a lot of bad things to get that stuff. That's not really what it's all about, people. It's not about, you're looking at Johnny Allen here, and you say, you know what, I just don't know about him because he doesn't bring down 6 figures a year. He should be bringing down 6 figures a year. I can't really hang with Johnny Allen because he doesn't bring down 6 figures a year. He's kind of a semi-local known musician, but he's not a famous musician. He's done a lot of good things in music, but he hasn't really, hit the big time. So is he really, this special guy? You get that. Get that. So I really, when I was single, when I was single, it was really crazy. A brief time when I was single, I did the dating thing. This is funny. I did the dating I did the online dating and all this stuff. Put the profile out there. Put out there. Yeah, I'm a nice guy. I don't have a record. I've never been in prison. I'm not a, I'm not a, I'm just a good guy. I don't have any issues. You can look at my record. I'm not a predator. I'm not this. I'm not that. I don't have any of those issues. I make mediocre money. I don't make six figures, but I make decent. I'm not a bum on the streets. I'm a fairly smart guy. I'm not, a valedictorian or whatever, but I'm just an all-around good, decent dude. That's who I am. I'm a musician. I like playing. I've had a little success with it, but you get the point. I'm just kind of an average kind of guy that's a nice dude, and just a good, fun guy to hang out with. That's just me. And I treat my ladies very nice. I've always been really well with them. I've never, with respect and that kind of thing. But anyway, I did these dating apps, and they first of all say, okay, what's your age? What's your income? What kind of degree do you have? Do you have any children? One was kind of funny. I do have one tattoo right here on my shoulder. One. I have one. I've had it for years, right? I had women on there say, and hang with me. I'm getting to where I'm going with this. Had women say, what do you have a tattoo? I said, yeah, I can't take guys with tattoos. Okay, so then I get another lady I'm interested in online. Well, do you have two tattoos? I said, sure, I do. She says, how many? I got one. Oh, that's not enough. It just got to be crazy stuff like that. Thankfully, I met Barbara, and not on a dating site, And but anyway, it's kind of funny. My point is they're judging the book by the cover. It's just so weird. It was crazy to me. It didn't make enough money. And I don't know what it is. But should we really be that way? Should we really stereotype and say, you know what? Say I'm a well-to-do lady, and I'm looking for a man like myself. Why would I say, okay, well, I just got to go with the guy that's making more than me, six figures or more, because I'm making six figures. I need to go with somebody. Why could you just say, well, you know what? I just like to hang out with a dude that's normal and decent and nice and honest and someone I can trust. Simple as that, and it's not a bum, And even if you are a bum, if you're trying to make something of yourself, why? Give some, what I mean? It's like, my whole thing is, why should you judge? Judge. It's funny. We do that as a culture. We do that. That's an example of the dating thing. But we do that as a whole society. It's just something else. Okay. I got a couple more things. It's hard to believe this half hour is going fast. Okay. Copying people. Okay. Copying people. Is it really a form of flattery when you copy somebody? That's what I got for number 5, brother. Copying somebody, is that a form of flattery? Now, I'll use the example of Eddie Van Halen real quick. Back in the day, he started doing this hammer-on pull-offs. I'm not saying he invented it. I'm not going into all that stuff, but he played a different style. Eddie Van Halen, people that are familiar with him, back in the early 70s, he came out with a guitar solo called Eruption on the first album. It blew everybody away. Everybody's like, wow, how do you do this? Anyway, he started this whole revolution of all these guitar players in the 80s all copying Eddie Van Halen style. And one time, Eddie Van Halen, I heard on the interview, they said, do you get sick and tired of people copying you all the time? And he goes, well, I really get tired of it, but I suppose it's a form of flattery because they're copying me. Comment below what you think about that. I've seen people actually copy me, and I used to get kind of aggravated about it, and so did Eddie Van Halen, because that's what he said. But anymore, I really don't get that aggravated about it. I think, oh, well, he's kind of copying my thing. That's cool. All right, good for him, because I'm sure that nothing's original, and we've all copied each other at some point. So copying somebody, is that a form of flattery, or do you not like it? Comment below, let me know about that, guys. Okay, lastly, on number 6, which I tapped on this earlier in the podcast, does money really buy happiness? Think about that, guys. Does money really buy happiness? Okay, here's my whole thing with money. I would like to make just enough to where I can retire from my day gig, because I'm getting a little tired of doing it. Not that I don't like the people and I like the job. It's just physically being attached to 8 hours a day or more and had to run on somebody else's schedule. I just want the freedom to be able to do what I really want to do, what I desire, what my passions are. That's the only reason why I would like to have a little more money to where I can give that up and not depend on that income, so I can really do my passion things. But does money really make you happy? If I have just what I have now, I'm happy. If I have a little bit less than what I have now, and I'll talk about things like this mixing board and equipment that's in this room, and if I had a little bit less of stuff and was able to have my freedom, exclamation points, guys, freedom, to be able to run my own schedule. That part of the money makes me happy. Now, if I was big and rich, I would probably try to make other people happy that are suffering. I would give a lot of my money to charity. And people think, why would you want to do that, John? That's crazy. No, I really would. If I happened to hit the lottery or became a wealthy man, quote unquote wealthy man, I would cherish in helping people that really needed it. That is a soulful thing that makes you feel good. Now, I might buy me a couple toys for myself, but would it really make me any happier than it is now? No, it'd just probably be another hobby. It'd be something else for me to do. Okay? It would be another hobby of mine. It would create another hobby. It would create another thing for me to do. But would it really make me happy if I never have it? No. No, I'm happy right now. Happy right now. So does money really bring happiness or buy happiness? Can money buy happiness? You know what I mean? It might make my life a little easier on some points. Like I said, I won't have to do the day gig that I'm doing now to make ends meet. It would flex my schedule, like I said. So that would initially, that part of the money thing would make me happy. But to say, well, if only, you know, my pastor talked about this one time, makes total sense. If only I'd hit the lottery, I would be fulfilled in my life. I'd be whole. I'd be happy. If only I would just hit the lottery. That's all I need. Just hit the lottery, and everything is good. Everything is great. You know, and you know the wife. If my husband was wealthy, you know, if I just had a wealthy husband, you know, I've known people, and I know this lady that's 80 years old. That she's been chasing wealthy men all of her life, and guess what? She never caught one, and her life is not like it should be or like it could have been. So that's a lesson learned right there. So anyway, that's about a half hour today. Happy Thursday. I call it Friday Eve. Welcome to 2020. Welcome to my new podcast situation here. I'm not done yet. Like I said, split screen is coming and guests are coming. I have a couple guys in mind that you really like, and we're going to have a good time. Thanks again for liking and subscribing to my channel. And if you're on Facebook, head over to my channel because I deleted all the old videos. And when I did that, my views went boom, caved because when I take the videos down, I guess evidently your views go down. It deletes your views, is what I'm trying to say. So essentially, I started the channel over again. It's like, whoa, I had like, you know, several thousand views, and now I'm down to like, you know, 20 or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, but if you get a chance, head over to the YouTube channel and like and subscribe. I promised the coffee mugs last year. This is 2020, and they're still coming. That's all I got to say. They're coming. Just hold on to your subscription and hold on tight because they are coming. A guy asked me about that the other day. Mike. Mikey. I like Mikey, by the way, if he's watching. Mikey's a great guy, and he subscribed right away to my channel. And he says, John, where's my mugs? Where's my mug? I said, well, Mike, I apologize. I do apologize. There was a couple setbacks, and one happened over the holidays to where I wasn't able to get the mugs that I wanted. But you know what? Things are changing now, and I keep my promises. It might be a little late, but you will get the mugs. The mugs are coming. Anyway, thanks again, guys. Thanks for liking, subscribing, and just comment below on any of these things I talked about today. I thought it was very interesting on how we do with this whole thing of character flaws, judging a book by the cover, judgment in general, fake impressions to people. Is, you know, copying somebody, is that a form of flattery? You know, and does money really buy happiness? Those subjects today I just talked about. Thanks again for spending 30 minutes with me. And I'll see you next Thursday on the Johnny Allen Podcast / video cast show. Later.